Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Life Happens podcast. I'm your host, Grace. And as you guys know, the Life Happen podcast is a podcast where we combine our spirituality with practical things to create this beautiful balance. Hi, Brian.
Hello.
I
Hey,
mean, I
Brian.
thought we had no sound because you didn't say anything because we were having some technical difficulties. But actually, the issue was user error, okay? And it wasn't me.
So are you blaming it on Kim?
Yeah, she
I'm
is.
telling you the
I forgot
truth.
to turn the volume up.
And then has me panicking, okay? Like my name is Becky. But you know what? We got that squared away though.
How are you doing, Kim? We're not gonna worry about Robbie up in there.
I am doing
Hey,
wonderful this day.
That's good. That's good.
um, you guys know that our topic is honesty in relationship, but I feel that we must address some things before we get into this topic. Just the incident that happened yesterday with all those babies that died in San Antonio. It is so sad to see what's going on, especially when you have school age children. Like I felt some type of way letting my kids go to school today because I'm convinced that when those parents sent their children off to school, no one thought that they would be bearing their kids. And it just breaks my heart just thinking about that. I did let my kids go to school though because I didn't want to sow seeds of fear. I wanted to make it as normal as possible, but it was tough. And I know you in the education, Brian. How was it for you today?
Um, I mean, it's the same. I talk to parents all the time, and I talk to a random lady. Well, not random. She works at the gym, and she works out at the gym that I work out at. So we see each other all the time. And I said, hey, I know you've got 2 kids. Their ages were 12 and 8. I said, what was your anxiety level on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, this morning?
Right.
And she said, oh, it was a 10 out of 10.
Oh,
And she said even last night that um, that her kids slept in her room. I mean, we're
yeah.
talking 12 and 8. Her kids slept in her room. She said she talked to her other friends who were parents too. The kids slept in the rooms and they were all on edge because you
Right.
just don't, you know, you something like that where you can't, where it was just almost somewhat unpredictable. I mean, it had signs, but it could have happened anywhere. Put it like that. So
No, agreed.
from pins and needles.
Yeah.
It affects us all on some level, all of us, parents, teachers, just citizens. It just affects us on all levels when it's so massive and it's so many kids and it's
Yeah.
done by a lone shooter who is even young himself. It's just a tragedy. And yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm praying for the families, for everyone, the boys' family, everyone that is
Right.
involved in that. It is such a
It's a tragedy.
it's tragedy. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Brian. Brian says mine would have been 21. What do you mean by that? Hi, Ben.
Being
Yeah, even my daughter was kind of nervous about going to school. But I said, we cannot sow seeds of fear. We prayed this morning. We prayed for all schools, including her, and, just anxiety and all that stuff. Um, God is in control, and that's the thing. Like you send your kids to school and you feel like you got some type of control, but really you don't have any control. You just don't know. And then today I heard that in Richardson they subdued a shooter. Like I'm like, are you for real? Like, because now
oh
people.
wow.
Yeah, I was reading it on Facebook. Did you see that? Any of you see that?
Mm-mm.
I'm sorry about what?
They subdued a shooter in Richardson.
Yeah, so I posted about it earlier. There were 4 schools in Texas today that shut down because of the potential threat of gun violence or a mass shooting
Really? Wow.
today. So there was 2 schools in Richardson, 1 school in Emory,
Wow.
which is a very well-known school, which is Raines High School. They have a very good football program. But it was 2 schools in Richardson, 1 school in Emory, and 1 school in Fredridge, Texas.
Oh,
And
wow.
and all 4 of them had to shut down today
Wow.
because of threat of an active shooter. Either they found a student with a gun on campus, or they saw a person, a suspicious person, carrying a gun, a fully automatic AR gun around school campus.
Oh
So
wow.
that it's crazy that after the day after that happens, you've got 4 schools shutting down
Right.
because of the potential threat.
Wow.
Right.
Now I don't remember school when I was
Hi,
growing up.
Justin.
It just wasn't a thing. Um,
Well, yeah, you've got monkey see, monkey do. I mean, when Sandy Hook took place,
yeah,
that was going to be bad, and people in this country and in life are monkey see, monkey do people. So it was going to happen again. But when we were growing up, the access to guns
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
as high. So now
exactly.
that in Texas, all you need is a proof that you're 18 and nothing else. That's it.
Yeah,
So
you don't even need a
it's
gun license anymore in
oh,
Texas. So,
no, you don't need a gun license. There's no background checks.
nope.
They lowered the age from 21 to 18. So regardless of what people think, numbers don't lie. And I'm not going to get into this because I know we got this deal, but numbers don't lie. In the past 3 years, I read a report that the number of mass shootings in the United States has gone from 594 to that next year 613 to last year 694. This
Really?
this year already, there have been 212 mass shootings in the United States, and 27 of those have been school shootings. So we're on pace to go over 700 mass shootings in the year 2022. But the crazy part about it is, as those shootings increase, those mass shootings increase, guess what's decreased? The
What's that?
restrictions on gun laws. So as we lower the restrictions or eliminate the restrictions on gun laws, the mass shootings rise at a crazy pace. And all of the other countries like the UK, Canada, all of that, they have very strict gun laws, and they have little to no mass shootings. Like the last mass shooting in the UK was in 1996, where someone shot up a school, murdered 16 kids and a teacher. And within 2 weeks, their government got together and they put in strict gun laws, and they haven't had a mass shooting in the UK since, in the last 26 years.
Oh
So,
wow.
people can talk about mental health, people can talk about religion, people can talk about whatever they want to. It doesn't matter. The common denominator is the gun in that person's hand. So if you put more guns on the street, it's going to be a higher probability, according to the stats in the United States, that more mass shootings will happen. So we need to be like other countries, more strict gun control, which will either totally decrease or totally eliminate the shootings. And it's simple math, it's common sense, but people don't have that.
Yeah, our government needs to do the addition. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're having this problem and this is occurring, so let's make some changes. You
Oh,
know?
they're not going to do that, and I'll leave this alone when I say this. Go look up the amount of donations that the NRA gives to politicians, especially in the GOP, and you will find out why those politicians, especially Republican politicians, do not want to have anything to do with gun reform. Look at how much the NRA donates to each individual senator and governor, and you will see why they don't want to take why they want to put more guns in people's hands, why they want people to buy guns.
Hmm.
So
But
money talks. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Basically.
We need that really. I know we're not going there on this topic today, but we need that transference of wealth, because we really need that for people that have morals and have ideas like you do, Brian, that have money to back it up. You know, when you don't have money to back it up, it's very hard to get things done. And once again, we're teaching our youth, okay, just get a job, just do this, not to become millionaires or not to become, you know, entrepreneurs where you can make millions and you can affect policy, because money affects policy. It does. And we need more money.
Yeah,
In the
but
community, we do.
yeah, but and not at the expense of people, not at the expense of the mass shootings increasing. And I know what you're saying, but that's why the GOP, that's why white politicians, they don't care about kids being shot, because guess what? Greg Abbott is about to go to an NRA meeting on Friday.
That's
This Friday.
because that's
Wow.
because the NRA had the money. But if we
Yep.
had the money and we
Yep.
could enforce policy, there
Yeah,
would be a change.
they're gonna. All the government has to do is go. We don't care about your money. We're gonna save these kids. We're gonna decrease the mass shootings. But they don't care about people. This is not
It's
a
about money.
Christian nation like it says. They don't care about
Money.
people. All they care about is the NRA paying them.
Money.
So
It all comes
they
back to money.
they don't care. But anyway,
Well, I need to read this. Justin says with Trump in Houston. And then Brian says we also need to activate these conversations must lead to us calling Rafael Cruz and others nationwide to make sure our voice is heard, then force them to take action. But that's a tough one. We should. I mean, we living in the US of A. We should use our voice.
we should use
Yes.
your voice is your vote. In order for things to change, we must transfer the power from the people that are in it to Martin Luther King said, give us the give us the ballot, give us the vote, and we will put people in that are good people, right? That's basically what he said. If more black people went out and voted, then things will change. Racism will never go away in this country. We just want it out of power, right? And if Greg Abbott gets out of power, if Raphael Edward Cruz gets out of power, things will change. You put people in. So thoughts and prayers are good, but faith without works is dead.
That's right.
Action is
We
better.
need action. We
Action
need
is better. So the one simple thing that we can all do is vote. That is important. I'm not telling you how to vote, but this problem isn't going away. The racism that's happening in America, especially in Texas, the banning of the books of Black history and education, the redlining, all of these guns on the street, the mass shooting, none of that is going away with the people that are currently in power. It's just going to get worse.
Ben says people are sadly the lost on politicians' minds. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But we're supposed to be a Christian nation. This nation is
We're
not
supposed to.
Christian at all.
No.
It was not built on Christianity. It's not Christian. That is a white supremacist hoax. And when I say hoax, I can prove all of that. This country was not born off of Christian principles, because if it was, I mean, you're talking to a historian here. So if this country was born off of Christian principles, then guess what? They wouldn't have treated Black people and Native Americans and indigenous people the way they treated. Only white supremacists only treated other white people with Christian values. Everybody else, they treated them with no Christian value whatsoever.
Right. There wouldn't have been a slaughter of Native Americans.
Exactly.
They wouldn't have lost their land. They wouldn't have been cheated out of their land. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I agree. I mean, a lot of things in history has been done in the name of Jesus. A lot of horrible things have been done in
Yes.
the name of Jesus.
They enslaved us because they thought we were soulless, uncivilized, and the only way to go to heaven is that we accept Jesus in the white form of the way that they wanted to indoctrinate it. And we knew Jesus way before we got over here. So let's just put that point out
Right.
there. You know what I'm saying? So they were like, since you're soulless, you should do what we say, because Jesus said that you're slaves and we're masters, and that's the way it should go. And if you don't, you're going to hell. Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, I can get into that, but I'm sorry, I spoke on this subject way too long.
No, but it's good that we need to talk about it and stay current, because this is on everybody's minds and hearts, right? And even my younger said to me, she's like, but we pray every day for protection. We assign and loose angels, but these things still happen. That's what people are really thinking. That's what our unbelievers are thinking. That's what even believers are thinking, because we are praying warfare prayers. But these things do happen. We don't know why they happen, but they do happen. And now we have to explain to our children that there are bad people out here, just like there are good people out here, and it's tough. It's a tough conversation to have, but
Because
it
we
has to
live
be
in a broken world.
right.
We live in a broken world. I wish parents would teach their children that this is
But
not a utopia. This is a broken world that we are living in.
no,
And
but you have to
bad
also
things
think,
will happen, you
of
know?
course. I mean, we can go back to Adam and Eve, and but it was tough this morning. It really was.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah, I was just like, man, because it affects their faith. Not just, I can imagine at 11 it affects you that way. Imagine, being older and other teen.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about like the people that survived, right? The children that survived and the trauma. Is that you, Brian? Is your phone
Yeah,
ringing?
yeah.
That's awful.
I was jamming to it. You should have let it ring a little bit longer. I was like,
Oh, really, Kim? What you got
yeah.
in that cup, Kim? What you have in that cup, honey? Because you're talking too free today. Too free. Okay, guys, I just want to shift now to honesty in relationships, right? Honesty in relationships makes us feel secure because we know where we stand. I know for me, honesty is a huge deal. Like people think like if you tell someone the truth, oh, you're gonna lose them. You may. That's a risk you take, but I promise you, if you are honest with somebody and give them the raw truth, they will respect you for that. They may be hurt, okay? And they would be hurt because that's normal, and that's Justin says Kim on that drink tonight.
Yeah.
I think so.
A drink, and one half of an edible. See over there.
Exactly.
He's like,
Is that what it is? So for me, truth is important no matter what. So tonight we're gonna talk about the scenario. We're gonna talk about the dear Kim, dear Grace scenario. Kim, you want me to read it or you want to read it?
Yes, I want you to read it.
Okay. So here goes. Dear Kim slash dear Grace, we have been repairing, this is a woman writing in. We have been repairing our marriage for a year and a half, but this last week was one of the worst. A year and a half ago, I found out from another female my husband had multiple affairs. I just like to say, who is this woman that's telling, oh girl, that her husband is having affairs? Does she have
Yeah.
an interest? So my first thought would be like, what is your interest in this? Because why are you telling me this about my man, right? Okay.
but she wasn't wrong. She wasn't lying, so that's the point.
But we don't know that. But let's continue, right?
Yes, we
All
do.
of
In the
which,
thing, yes, it does.
I mean, I didn't hear what you said. Say that again.
No, keep going. Keep going.
Okay. All of which he was constantly blamed on me some way or another. So he was gaslighting, right? While yes, I understand it takes two to tango. I'm just learning a year and a half later, he was actually a serial cheater, not just two one-time accidents as he had claimed, but now we are up to 7. Now
But
this is
see,
where my
why, first of all, why is she calling them accidents? I do not understand.
okay, and then why are we not talking about protection?
No, no, you keep
Okay.
reading.
Okay, sorry. And his previous reasons have been proven false. I'm at a loss. I just discovered new lies today, a year and a half into his journey, and they've not little. One night stands, longer affairs, contacting women outside of the time frame he previously claimed, fake Facebook accounts, fake Snapchat, it goes on. I asked for access to the accounts for peace of mind since he claims they are a year old, and of course he swears he can't get in. The worst part is he didn't tell me about any of this new info. I found out by chance. And he stared at me in the face and lied until I showed I had proof. I have been begging him to give me information so I can process and we can move forward. And he said there was no info to give. How can you rebuild on something if the other person is lying? I've spent years getting over infidelity multiple times now. This loss being what he swore was the last, and now I found out a year later he was hiding so much more. How do I even proceed? Do I even proceed? No. He was he has never put anything into our marriage, but now he wants to guilt me to stay by saying it's best for the kids. I feel very manipulated at this point. The last 2 attempts at counseling, he lied to the counselor, and it was traumatizing. Uh,
This is easy. There's no. This is. Y'all should know by now how I feel about
Yeah, I
something
know
like
how
this.
you feel about that.
This is 100% easy. This is going to be the easiest podcast ever.
Okay, so what? So I want the world to know what you think, because I know what you think about that.
I know what you think about it.
Yeah, we know.
So let's start with the obvious thing. She knew before she got with him, or while she was with him, she
Right.
knew before the marriage that he was a cheater. Case closed. You can't change anybody. We're done at that point. So now she stays with him for various reasons, for that she emotionally stirs up, nothing by logic really. And then he doesn't change. So then a year and a half into the relationship, when she already knew about a couple of issues, she finds out that there were two. So apparently there were two issues that she already knew about, or that they already had. And then he lied and said it was just two. And now there's 7 of them. And the only reason why she found out was because of another woman. So screw the other woman. The other woman has nothing to do with this. I don't care if she's got interest in the man. I don't care if she was one of his old flings and she's trying to get revenge. The woman has nothing to do with it. It's the information that she gave that ended up being true. So he goes from 2 to 7, and she still stays with him, trying to find closure and validation to move forward with a guy who's been lying to her ever since before he got married.
Yo,
So,
I have to read this comment. This comment is hilarious. Can I please read this comment?
Yeah.
Keisha says, "Hi everyone. Quick question: is that guy's name Nick? I swear that MF sounds just like my ex-husband." Oh God. Yeah, there's no names, because how do I want to tell you?
So the answers to the question: should she proceed? No. Does she even proceed? How does she proceed? She shouldn't. Right? She shouldn't. Should it says, do I even proceed? No. Right? And then it says before that, how can you rebuild on something if the other person is lying? You can't build on sand. You just can't. It doesn't make logical sense. If she tries to stay with him like she's done more than once, she will break down in that situation emotionally, physically, psychologically, all of it.
She's already broken down.
Right. What I'm saying. Yeah. True. It'll be even worse.
Right.
It'll be even worse. So for her own good, and of course she's trying to say, well, he's trying to guilt her into staying for the kids. No, no. That he ain't trying to get you to do a damn thing. You can leave if you want to. And I understand it's a little bit more difficult to leave situations with kids. And if there's physical abuse, I understand that you got to strategize to get it out. However, she is pondering staying and we don't read anything about physical abuse here. So I just threw that out there for the people who talk about how it's a strategy, but there's no physical abuse here. She can leave. She doesn't want to leave.
Do you think that maybe she's just in love with him?
No, there's no such thing. Yeah. There's no such thing. Your love is logical. Love is totally logical. She doesn't have self-love. That's the problem, right? She's only staying. She's only staying because she's trauma bonded and she has no self-love. Love is logical. I hate it when people, not hate, but I dislike it when people use, oh, I'm in love with the person who continually abuses me, manipulates me. No, love is very logical. It is actively logical. And you can logically work out if she wrote down this on a piece of paper, and of course she did it in a text, and she wrote it back and she read it back to herself. And then she just put another name to it. And instead of her name, she put a lady named Sarah and then a man named Jim. And we asked her, would you tell Sarah to stay in this relationship if she asked you for advice? And the answer would be no, because every logical piece of information in this situation says leave. So love is not a necessary emotion that connects us to someone who's totally hurting us on us. And we're not talking about agape love here, right? We're not talking about agape love, right? So let's not bring in God forgives us, so we should forgive other people. Let's not bring in that, right? We're talking about love between a man and a woman. That thing is totally, totally conditional, and it's logical more than anything. So she should leave. There's nothing that says she should stay.
All right, we
So
have
Keisha's okay. Go
Oh,
ahead,
go
because
ahead,
I can't see the comments. No, you go ahead.
Okay. Keisha Walker said she should proceed. She has to want to get out of that relationship. It doesn't matter what we say. Her first move is to make sure her OBGYN appointments are up to date. She
Facts.
needs an STD test.
No, that is a fact, because that's the first thing my mind said was, "Oh my gosh, she needs to go get tested." Okay, because
Yeah,
AIDS is real.
proceed in what though? Proceed in the relationship or proceed in getting out?
No, she's saying proceeding getting
She
out.
said
Obviously,
proceeding,
she,
get
she
out of
has
the
to
relationship.
get out of the
Okay.
relationship.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no way, because to me, there's so many things over here. Okay, why are you struggling? Do you not love yourself enough that you would take this
She
shit
has
from
no self
any
love.
human? Not
She
at all,
doesn't have
right?
any self love.
No, you still having sex with this man that sleeps with other. I know he's your husband, but you're still having sex with him, and he's not faithful to you, right? If he can't be faithful and be okay at this point, you have been outed out. She knows what you're doing, and you still can't tell the truth, baby. You are the devil's son. Truth ain't in you. You must go. I
I
wouldn't
was
be able to
talking.
deal with him.
I was talking to a friend, and she's in a bad relationship. No abuse, but just it's just not a good relationship.
I
But she just does not want to start over, so she is staying in this relationship
hell no, hell no.
because
No. That's actually a great psychological analysis there. The Psych 101 says two things about fear. If you are very scared about something, if a big lion came into your house right now, you're either going to do one or two things. You're either going to freeze or you're going to run, one or two. And that is the same way inside of relationships. Fear is a strangle, gets a stranglehold on people. And like Kim said, her particular friend she is afraid to start over. She doesn't want to go through the depression by herself. She doesn't want to go over
right.
the trauma or the being alone, the trauma
Right.
that comes with that, the stress that comes with that, the depression, the I've got to go out and find another man, and I've got to be rejected, or I've got to go on another date and this guy doesn't work out. I don't want to go through all that. And that is totally depressing. So fear says, if I'm going to be depressed, I might as well be depressed with somebody.
Right.
I understand that, but
And that's what that fear says. On the flip side, I've been cheated on before. And that fear of me being cheated on again, that made me burn out.
I
It
bet.
didn't make me stay, but I had self-love in order to know that I'm not going to be treated like that. But there are a lot of people, especially women, who do not have that self-love, and they are afraid to start over. The fear of starting over is a strangle, and they stay in the situation they're in.
so basically, you just stay anxious. You allow this ninja to create wars inside of you. Hell no. CJ, what are your thoughts?
Well, first off, hello everybody. I know
Hi,
y'all was
how are
kind of
you?
going in.
What's up with it, man?
I was a little late. I'm on my single father tip this for the rest of this weekend, so
Okay.
had to get my son. But so I'm gonna just take a different approach because I don't know if anybody said anything about this, but maybe she just ain't mad enough. Maybe she just ain't. Maybe she just ain't had it. Actually, I want to look at this from a different route. What's making her stay? Like, what is making her stay? Is it the fact that she's already, as y'all pointed out so well, that she doesn't have that self-love for herself? Or is it maybe something that we don't know? Hell, maybe hey, whatever homeboy got in between them things, in between them legs, it might be, that might be real pleasing to her. Like, maybe his social status is up there. Maybe he has money. Because celebrities get cheated on every day. They get dogged out, but you know what? They stay. Because you know why? Because he got that bad, because he got this, because he got that. So I want to know what's making homegirls stay. Because just like my man, let me see what your name is, B Jones. I'm going to call you BJ. Is that cool? Nah, that ain't cool. I'm going to call you
B Jones.
Okay, B Jones. Okay,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I'm gonna call you Mr. Jones because if I call you BJ one more time, you're gonna go on my head. But so Mr. Jones, so Mr. Jones was saying, I forgot what Mr. Jones said. He said, you were saying something, man. I forgot what you done said, but I really wonder what's making her stay instead of just her leaving. Yeah, because just like what you said, any logical person would have been, left this relationship. So I wonder what's making her stay.
But CJ got a good point though. So let's just say he's super physically attractive to her, or he's got a ton of money, or he's got a big status. She's scared, right, that she can't hit one of those three things again on the back end. Like if a woman
risking...
but wait a second. I'm not validating. I'm just explaining from Psych 101, right? If he has introduced her, let's say it's money. If he has introduced her to a level of living, right?
Facts.
He does not want to decrease that, especially if she can't maintain it herself, right? So if she's not, if he, let's just say he's introduced her to a $500,000 a year lifestyle, but she doesn't necessarily have a $500,000 job. She's only got a $55,000 job. She's a teacher. Well, guess what? She is not going to. She's got to replace the $500,000 man with at least a $400,000 man. And
there's no price on
that's
peace.
Facts.
Though.
But
there's no price on peace. I am
that's
sorry.
Facts.
No,
but that's no price on you. Do you know how many women stay with men either because of sex, money, or status?
No.
All right, let me read the comments. Keisha Walker said no, she should proceed in the relationship. She obviously hasn't had enough.
That's what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying.
And his balls. Hell, my ex still jerks when he see me. And remember that punch to the nuts on January the 15th, 2010. And then Brian Williams said, I would have said, especially women, I think that a fear of the unknown is a human trait.
No, that is true, because remember, I was in a long ass relationship and I stayed in for a long time because fear of the unknown. What was going to happen to the kids? But there comes a point when you work in yourself where you like, you know what? I'm going to jump off the ledge. I'm going to take whatever risk there is to take. And honestly, getting out of that relationship, I was like, why the hell did I do this shit sooner?
Exactly.
Like once you actually take that first step, it's like, okay, everything opens up. So I do believe that fear is she's operating in fear. I get that. But it's like this disease, I can't get past the disease. I'm sorry. That STD, that all those diseases she could be getting, because obviously he is not smart.
Maybe he has
using condoms.
What is it called when you keep having sex with a lot of different people? What is that called? Sexual addiction.
Being a player.
No, I think it's sexual addiction, right? Maybe he has an addiction though.
Being a hoe? I mean, what?
There is a such thing as sexual
he's just a hoe.
Addiction, right?
Maybe he's African. But he's got a wife, though. I mean, why? But
that doesn't matter. The sanctity of marriage is so dishonored these days. It's pitiful. People get married and cheat on each other that same night.
And I wonder why is it that it's always, I mean, and this ain't no shade, but it's always the older generation that is constantly, well, we're starting to find out grandpa and grandmama, they wasn't always on the best terms. Grandpa been doing this thing versus you got these people that's around kind of my age group. Hey, they dipping left and right. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I'm starting to see nowadays. Now we finding out, who you think that got it together
really don't.
All paradise. Exactly. Hey, exactly. They really don't.
All right, let me read some comments. Big Ivan Dawkins said Big D energy is a thing.
Facts. Hey, Doc know what I'm talking about. Facts.
And Keisha Walker says sex with several people means he's a slut.
Exactly.
I was going to say something.
Yes.
Hey, I was going to say something,
but,
but we ain't on Elevate. No, we ain't on Elevate. Now I'll wait till we get on Elevate to start talking. I'm on your platform. So I'm being real respectful, real respectful. I'm trying to get
Thank
invited
you.
back. Oh man,
We appreciate that. Thank you.
no problem.
Another thing that I was thinking about, right? She keeps asking for the truth when she already knows the truth. How much more proof does she needs to see? Because you can't handle all the stuff at this level. And if you see even more, how are you going to handle that? I
That's
mean,
because her conscience level, her closure level is based on her self-love level. The higher the self-love that you have, the less bullshit you're gonna put up with, right? If
because
you,
you
if
don't need to, yeah,
I'm sorry,
you don't need
if
to see any proof.
no, you don't. But
Mm-mm.
there are people. There are people out there whose self-love is very high that all they have to do is see the slightest bit of consistency, right? Tendencies change, and they ask a question. Hey, are we not exclusive here? And the person is either straight up lying and they know it, or just blunt with the truth and say, well, yeah, now we're not just. And then boom, that's all they need. But there are other people who need to catch people in bed sleeping with somebody else but naked for their eyes to totally be wide open after all of these clues have been left behind, and but she's accepted the cheating way more than once. So it's the truth. Her imagination is going wild right now. Her imagination has already planned out what she thinks the truth is, or the acceptable conclusion of all of this. And every time she asks him, "Tell me the truth," and whatever he says, it doesn't fit what she's imagined. So therefore, she's gonna keep asking. He's gonna keep doing. She's gonna keep in the relationship. He's gonna keep jacking up. And if what he does doesn't match her level of, oh, okay, well, this is closure enough for me, she's gonna stay in it. But of course she shouldn't.
But
Yeah,
also,
and I want to say this though. Have you noticed in the beginning of the scenario, it said that we have been repairing our marriage for a year and a half. Like they just got into the marriage and started repairing. That means he was holding before they even got married.
Of course, that's the first thing I said. She knew exactly who it was before she got married. She tried to change him. Women love trying to change men. We've talked about that before.
maybe
And
she
Yeah.
didn't know though. Maybe she
work.
didn't know. Maybe he was
She
just a
knew.
good liar.
No,
No.
no, she knew because in the scenario, it said that she knew about 2, and then old girl told her about 5 more, so there's 7 total. She
And
already
old
knew.
girl. And old girl is one of the girls that was dealing with him. Because you
It
see,
may be
I don't trust old girl because where you come out of where and you could
that,
woo,
but old
anyway.
girl don't matter because
CJ
the
wants to
information
say
was 100.
CJ, you want to say something I could tell. What you want to say?
Hey,
Please?
so for one, this drink is hitting. By the way, I want to let y'all know that. But secondly, so low key when a dude, because I ain't gonna lie, anytime a girl asks you, "What are we?" I don't know how Mr. Jones answered, but if she's a good girl, and I still want to get my little play on, hey, I'm the master at dodging the real question. Oh yeah, we talking. I don't know about exclusively though, but then again, this goes out the window because they married. I ain't gonna lie. Once you put a rock on somebody's finger, that kind of up in the stakes. However, I feel like she maybe thought, oh, what if we get married and then boom, that should be it. Man, Jones, I know you can speak for it. I can speak for it. Hell, I was the one that messed up a few, not a lot, but a few. Cause and dead ass. I've been told, because I say, hey, you married, right? She, I mean, yeah, but we on a break, right? And I'm like, okay, but I just seen you on Facebook with your husband 2 days ago, and you out here trying to, so that marriage title don't hold like it used to back in the day. You see what I'm saying? And homegirl that was talking about some, homegirl knew what homeboy was. Just unfortunately, she was, like she in love, and we humans, we gon' like we're humans. We gonna fall in love, and I don't care what no man tells you. Every man fall in love for a girl. Every woman fall in love for a man. That's just what happens. Unfortunately, she maybe thought, hey, I'm gonna marry him. He gonna change his ways. And meanwhile, he was, hey, that boy was on crunch time.
And Kim.
All right, I have some comments.
Okay.
You guys ready? Ivan Dawkins said, Big D energy is about confidence. They're not shy or quiet, but they're not arrogant either. Some women are
Put it down. That's why you
be drawn to that. Chris Tino said, as a mental health advocate, I believe that our attachment styles and love language has to match in order for honesty and reality to coincide.
Because the idea is to become securely attached. That's the great plan, to be a secure attachment style, right?
Yeah.
But baby, anyway. So I like what he said.
Yes. Brian Williams said, why does today's society speak as if tolerance for infidelity is something known, but saying this like nowadays, and most have heard of their entire families on the other side of time. Other side of time. Y'all get that?
Yeah. He's basically, from what I hear, he's trying to say, why do people act like infidelity is gonna happen? Like cheating is so common these days, as if when I get married to somebody, or even before I get married to somebody, infidelity is supposed to happen, and that's something that we work out together, and we just move on. No. You cheat on me, I'm gone.
Facts.
And that's before, and I'm talking about before the actual physical part of it. If I'm with a woman, relationship or marriage, and I know that she either accepted a phone number from another man or she gave her phone number out to another man, it ain't because of so much stuff that branches off to so much stuff that I'm not going to deal with. Betrayal is not on my table.
Because that emotional attachment is real. You can get emotionally attached to somebody. You're right, though. That to me, and for women, you have to be so careful, because you can get attached. Because once you're emotionally attached, then everything else follows. So I hear what you're saying, Brian. I agree with that.
That's so true.
Yeah, if you're like dating somebody exclusively, you don't need to be talking to other people. I get it.
All right. Christina said the key for both parties is not to go into a situation with expectations. However, establishing boundaries needs to be done from jump. Transparency will avoid hella drama.
I'm sorry, but cheating should be just like, like that shouldn't. Why should that be a boundary? That should be like, that's a non-negotiable. That's a freaking non-negotiable. Because what I'm not going to do is to be concerned about every time you leave the house, where you going, who you with. So that means you are creating wars inside of me. Your ass got to go. I don't let anybody do that. I don't give a damn who you are. I'll get over it. You're not going to create a war in me, especially with stuff that can be controlled. If you want to be a hoe with the other side of town. Do it on your own. Don't do it with me. You know what I mean? I feel for her, but I'm also irritated with this woman. Like, grow a pair. Like, stand up. Like, get up and say, okay. And this is the thing. We think about healing as being just getting up and going. No, it's one day at a time. Sometimes you got to break the day down into hour by hour, whatever means necessary to get through that. And Kim, I love you, but girl, this woman, she knew he was fucking around. She knew. We have intuition.
He may have been a good liar, though, for real.
She knew.
No. So CJ said it earlier, but I'm not going to disagree with it, but I'm going to flip it. The issue is, it's not people fall in love with someone who's bad, right? Or someone who's doing them wrong.
Right.
Is that people fall in lust and they think that it's love and they try to build on that. So if she's with this dude and he's a 100% doing her wrong, already cheating on her, already lying to her, what CJ said earlier, she built on the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the lust of money, and then she tried to love him and change him so that their relationship worked for her. That's what she's trying to do. And she's putting up with all this BS because she lusted after him first and then faked it like it was, or thought that it was love. And it's not. She's got no self-love, and she doesn't, I'm not saying she doesn't necessarily is in love with him, but love isn't the thing that's driving this. No, love ain't driving this, because she knew prior to. And you set the boundary. You don't set the boundaries inside the relationship. You set the boundaries yourself. And the people that come to your life, you know what I'm saying?
But cheating is not a boundary.
I know.
Like, to me, cheating is not a freaking boundary.
It's not. No, it's not. But what I'm saying is you set the boundaries outside of you set the boundaries right now today. Like, I have boundaries that people, if you cross them, you're done.
Facts. I mean, you have.
All right, we have a lot of comments. Okay, Keisha Walker says, CJ, you coming straight out of a comic book. Bruh, damn that. Fuck a rock on her finger. That man is trash.
Trash.
Keisha Walker, I'm gonna fire your ass up.
Okay. Rock on the finger. I'm sorry. Christina said, I just did a podcast interview on this topic and doing another.
She froze.
See, he just did it like back in the day. And we all heard Mama's Baby, Pops Maybe, the Milkman, Baby Papa was a Rolling Stone. And then Mika Baldwin said, people fall in lust and skip past the red flag.
Yes, agree.
A lot of time, us as women spend time trying to change a man. We can't do that. We have to. We really need to wake up.
Hey, but you know what?
I think so.
I see you know what's making the state is rejection, because she's trying to figure out what's wrong with her. There must be something wrong with me that he's cheating and trying to find whatever he can't find in me.
Yeah.
I see rejection through this with her, that is.
Now, I had a friend whose husband was a serial cheater, and
I thought she was about to say serial killer. I was about to say
serial cheater. And he wanted to, and she wanted to know everything. Like, where'd you meet them? She wanted to read all the texts.
Did she get that information? Did he give it to her?
He gave her everything. He let her read all, because, you know, he wanted to change and he wanted them to be back together and he wanted his marriage to work. And after she had found out that he was doing this like massive cheating, she wanted everything. She just had to know everything. She said because her mind, like Brian said, was playing, you know, she was going through all these scenarios through her head. You know, but she wanted to know every detail, and he gave her every detail. It was hard. The brother didn't want to do that, but he did. And
she was also using that to compare what she was doing to what the other female was doing too.
But guys, let's think about it. If it was the opposite sexes, right? If this was happening to a man, what would a man do?
Jones, you want to take it off? Because
No. I'm gonna say this. I know men that are in that situation where the woman is the one who's doing the cheating, where she's the deception, she's the manipulator, and he's trying to be a good dude, and he stays. But of course, it's the same in that particular situation and other particular situations like that. They stay because of fear and other. I know men who do that, but then I know men who. Well, hold on, CJ. I know men who do what he's about to say.
Mr. Jones, you need to put brother on this show, because hey, that just blew my mind. So you telling me your homeboy out here getting disrespected like that, and he's still in the relationship?
I know what you were about to say, but I was gonna put that out there that I know some dudes that are the ones who are being disrespected and manipulated and cheated.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, hey, big shocker. I used to be one of those guys. Real big shocker. Hey, you know, I used to, but
We're not shocked. Yeah.
Oh, well, somebody was, so, you know. By the way, I like what you did with your hair, because last episode it was all out. You know, but I see you got the little swoop. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I see you got the little swoop. You know what I mean? But
no. Anyway, so you were cheated on before, is what you're saying?
Oh, who, me?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, but you know what? But hold on. It took that one time all it took was one time, and I was like, you know what? And actually, I was cheated on when I was so I was in the army. Well, I'm still am, but I was away from my basic training, and my first time was me buying my little phone. First time me buying an iPhone was in 2016, right? I bought this phone, and I talked to this little girl that I thought a white girl at that. That made me stick to my sister. I said never again. But you know what I'm saying. But anyway. Hey, but anyway, I text. I said, "Hey, what's going on? What's going on?" She texted me back. She said, "I've been enjoying the single life. What about you?" And at first, I didn't even read. I was like, "Oh, I'm like, wait, hold on, single." I was like, "Hey, I thought we was." She was like, "Yeah, I single," and then I got my social media account back, and then I seen this dark-skinned brother. Oh my God, man. All the little T straight. I said, oh no. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what? Either Mr. Jones, hear me out. Either I was like, you know what? That's what I am. I'm just, I'm just a step-on guy. Or I was like, you know what? I could boss up. I could not worry about that and just focus on myself. And I chose the line. I said, you know what? I will never again let that. Now, I wish my black queens could be just like that. All y'all take is maybe 1 or 2 L's. Y'all take maybe, which are losses. I got to explain my slang. 1 or 2 L's, 1 or 2 losses. And then y'all be like, you know what? I don't need this. Hey, I got this. I got that going on. But unfortunately, I don't see that with females. I understand because when y'all think y'all are a little bit more emotional than your counterparts. Me and Mr. Jones, we can kind of see past the emotion, but with y'all, it's kind of more emotional, and that's how we know that's how to get you. But I just wish maybe it took maybe 1 or 2 L's. I'd be like, you know what? I don't need that. Then we won't have situations like what homegirl is going through. If she just would have just bossed up and just said, you know what? Okay, so you want to get married? That can't happen because you ain't gonna change your ways. So you gonna change? He gonna all right then, go ahead and you know what I'm saying.
But
But
you're right,
unfortunately, with her, that didn't happen. Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Let me read some comments.
Okay.
Mika Baldwin said, "Leave. A man is leaving quick." And then Keisha Walker said, "A man would leave. They can't handle it when we cheat on them." Or
oh hell no, I can't handle it.
And they said
you're right.
they're double-minded bastards.
Hey, who said that?
And Justin Caraway said, "Hearing all of this, my brother." And Keisha Walker said, "If you're away at basic training, it's fair game, homie." Then you trusted a Caucasian broad? CJ, I used to respect you.
Hey, back then I was tweaking, but hey, hold on. It took that back, and then I went back to my black queens. And if you remember, Grace, like 3 or 4 episodes ago, hell, I got used by a little African chick that was using me for the booty calls. So I'm like, damn. But hey, I accepted that because I was a black queen, though. So
So CJ and Brian, I know both of you guys. You said you both guys were cheated on. Did y'all ever think, "Oh, I'm going to stay in this"?
At any point, was
hell no.
Well, I'll tell you what. So me and CJ, so I'm not sure how old he was when he got cheated on, but I remember the time where I took the L. I was in a relationship for 2 years when I was 19, and I played the fool.
Hey, same age. I was 19 years old, but go ahead.
Yeah. I played the fool for 2 years. There was all this evidence that she was not faithful to me, but I never had like the physical, you know what I'm saying? So then all it took was one of my close friends to say that she was at a place with somebody where she wasn't supposed to be. She was in a hotel with somebody, and that person, she was like, "Hey, look, I don't know if they had sex or not. All I know is that they were in the room, that." And I called her up, and I put that person on 3-way, and that's how I rolled. I said, "Look, this is what this person is telling me. Is that true?" And she said, "Yeah, it's true." That's all I needed. That I was done at that point. But But from then on, no. If someone, well, I stayed when someone was cheating on me, right? But now, no. I would have never, the mindset I have now, she would have been gone in the first 2 months.
So Kim, if you were cheated on, what would you do?
Well, that's good because I've been married so long. Um, I it would be
Secret.
very hard for me to stay. Very, very hard for me to stay because trust is such a big deal for me. And so I know that would be very hard. Me and William have already had these conversations. But yeah, that would be very hard. Jesus himself would have to
Listen,
walk in the room and say, stay with
So
this man.
hold on. So Miss Kim, I'm sorry, Miss Drake. You know, I want to be real respectful. Love the dreads girl. I love her. Hey, I actually say the well. Okay. Hey, okay. But hey, so have you ever been cheated on?
No.
Miss Grace, have you been cheated on?
not that I know of.
So it's not confirmed.
It's not confirmed. But when I think, no, I'm serious though. When I think back to when I first got married, because when I first got married, we got separated. See, you know what? Sometimes women, but I was young, we got separated. Okay, so we lived in Kansas for a while, for about a year, and I moved back to Dallas. And so I did. If it happened, then I don't know, right? But I will say, like one day, my son was born, and that's what I'm saying. Women have intuition. I'm literally in the
They
shower
do.
washing my hair, and I had a fleeting thought about somebody. And I got out the shower immediately and I asked him a question, and his whole face changed. But I had no evidence, there was no evidence that something had happened. So I asked
That
the question.
Hey, that women intuition is like so for real because
It's ridiculous.
no, like
It is.
I swear it's so real because you think you play a player. Hey, so who's Stacy? You like,
Let me read
hey,
this. Keisha Walker said, all it takes from me is a feeling and a thought. If I think you're cheating, your ass is cheating.
Keisha Walker's on stage. So I don't even know why she commenting, but go ahead,
And
continue.
Justin Caraway said, hoes tell everybody. And Ivan Dawkins says, everybody has been cheated on. Everybody don't know it though.
Right.
That's
That's
true. I mean,
true.
so I guess I
I don't
didn't
think
know.
that's true,
Hold,
Ivan.
hold on. Hold on. So here's a real question. Just like how I explained before, why is it that I feel like most men, all it really takes is like, okay, like maybe twice, like the first one, okay, the second one, like, and that's what I was telling, I was telling somebody, I was like, you know what? I want my son to get destroyed, like his heart broken, like cheated, like want him seeing the foot. No, that's my girl. Yeah, I want that for him.
Why?
Hold on. Time out. Hold on. It's a method to my madness. I want that for him so he could get out the ashes and be like, you know what? I don't need that because no, hold on. Because truthfully, some people need to be cheated on to see how messed up this game is we call life and relationships. Real talk, because you not getting cheated on. I mean, yeah, it's perfect, but 10 times out of 10, you're gonna get some type of infidelity, whether it be emotional, physical, but it's what you come out of is what I want to see my son become. So he
I
gonna
know,
get
but
his little
Hell
CJ,
dose.
how
no.
about
No,
him not
actually,
go through
what
it
you
at
mean?
all?
Hell
But
no.
CJ, how
What
about
you
him not
mean?
go through it at
No.
all?
You know
What?
what? No. Yes, of
You know
course you're
No.
what?
gonna
Put
get cheated
that
on.
red
Yes,
cup down. Put the cup down because you're talking out of baby bye. No. I do not want that to happen to my kids. Shit.
No. Why would you want that?
No.
No.
hold on. Okay, bet. Hold on. I got you. Miss Drake. So do you have any kids?
Yes.
Make it make
Okay, how many
sense
kids
because
you
it's
got?
not making sense.
I have 3 daughters.
Oh hell yeah, I got you in a second. Miss Grace.
Yes. I have a
Okay, how
son
many
and
kids
2
you got?
daughters. 3.
Absolutely, got you. Okay, got you. So Drake, Miss Drake, I'm sorry, Mrs. Drake, I'm sorry. So your daughters are gonna go through life, and they're gonna
Jesus.
get cheated on. Statistically speaking, one of those women are gonna grow up and they're gonna get cheated on. Same for you, Miss Grace. They're gonna get cheated on, right? But here's what I want, right? It takes a little bit of that to shock them, like to get them right. It's almost one of those scared beyond straight. They need to actually see it for themselves. They get cheated on, then it's almost like, do you lay down? Do you just be like, damn, okay, I'm just always going to be that girl that get cheated on? Or do you rise up and be a boss ass bitch?
Of course, if anything happens in their life, if anything happens, we want them to rise up, but I don't want that to happen for them.
Right.
I don't want them to go.
Okay. Hold on. I think I know where CJ is coming from.
Okay,
It's
before you
Wait.
do that, let me
wait.
hold on,
Especially.
Brian. Let me just say this. Ivan Dawkins said, Jones, help him out.
Thank you.
Okay, so especially since I know what he's feeling, because when it only took me one time, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when what he's saying is women tend to continually take a L, then take another L, then take another L, then
Right.
so you know, with some people it seems like men are. It's easier for men to take an L and then bounce back from it and not take the L again than it is for women. It seems like it's harder for women to do that. But what he's basically saying is he wants his sons to touch the hot plate to know that it's hot, to never touch it again. Right?
Man, please.
So if he wait, I look, you got.
I want my kid to try heroin just so they'll know that it's not good for them.
Right.
No. No, it's not that, because heroin has a hold on, am I froze? Okay, so heroin or crack has a literal, tangible, concrete consequence. As soon as you take it, there's a tangible consequence. There's not necessarily a tangible consequence to getting cheated on. So you don't know how to teach that. So if I was going to tell my kid, don't take crack, I can literally pull pictures up of crackheads and what it looks like to be a crackhead without them and them going, oh, crackhead, don't want to be that. But there's nothing tangible to go cheated on, and then a picture of what it looks like to be cheated on and continue to stay in the relationship. There's no tangible evidence.
But people have been cheated on and committed suicide because they've been cheated on by a person. So do you really want a person to go through that? I mean, that's
okay. Hold on. Okay, Mr. Jones, thank you. I got you. Here's really what I'm saying. Do you want your child to go through heartbreak at a high school okay level, or would you want them to go through it when they're thinking, because some women, and I'm not saying not you, beautiful ladies, and my dark-skinned queen, my African queen, you know what I'm saying? But some women, they don't teach about that after it happens, how do you bounce back? And all I'm saying is I want them to experience a little bit, because it's gonna happen. Your $3, and I hope they're not in relationships right now. They probably getting cheated on right now while you're on this podcast. Your son, okay, respectfully, because I don't know how old any of your children are, but if they're
babies.
Okay, they're babies. Okay, got you. When they date, and Miss Kim, so you the one that said you got $3?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. They, at some point of their life, they're gonna get lied to. They're gonna get finessed. Something's gonna happen, and then it's like, oh dang, okay. That's when you come in, mama, and you reassure them, hey baby, that type of stuff, it happens. It's what you do afterwards. That's what makes you the woman you are. And all I want for our queens, go ahead, Grace. I feel like you got something to say. Go ahead, you got it.
See, this is the thing. I know we're talking about cheating right now, so I guess that's the topic. But the way I look at life situation and life approaches is that I teach my children, first of all, self-love. Because if
Right.
you love yourself, if your self-love is at a certain level, there's certain shit you're not going to deal with. You just will not. For example,
Exactly.
you don't need proof. This woman needs a constant proof to what fucking proof do you need? Let this Negro go, okay? I'm sorry. I would tell my daughter the same thing because she will love herself and my son will love himself enough to choose him first. Because that's something I teach constantly all the time. I'm not saying I want my child to endure cheating. So then at that point, then you learn how to get, you just teach them life lessons, period. Because in life, as long as you're in this body, you are going to endure disappointment, pain, hurt, all these things. No human being can satisfy every single need in you. Okay. And you shouldn't be looking for people because
For
now that
someone else to do it.
becomes
Exactly.
Right.
okay.
Let me
Right.
So I
read.
don't need somebody. And I was talking about this the other day on the podcast. You're supposed to be interdependent and independent. My heart does not depend on my guy. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
He,
exactly.
I mean, really. So that's the same thing you teach your children, even with how they navigate through relationships right now, whether they are platonic or romantic. You teach them how to navigate, how to overcome. Because as long as you're living, you're going to have to overcome sometimes weekly, sometimes every couple of months. But that's just the reality. But I'm not going to say, oh, I want my son to endure that. Hell no, I don't. No.
Hold on, hold on. Question. So, are you saying,
Mm.
and it's a two-part, three-part question. So, are you saying that your kids aren't gonna endure heartbreak?
Of course they are.
Okay, okay, absolutely. Now, would you want your kids to experience heartbreak when
Sooner
they're
or later.
30,
Yeah.
they're in 17 to about 24 years of life?
The heartbreak happen. You can't put a time limit and say, well, at 12, you may go. No, it happens when it happens.
It
And
happens when it
everything I've taught
happens.
you will come up. And I'm right there to help you walk you through this. Okay. But I can't put a time stamp on it about at 18 or at 19 or 20 or whatever. That's not realistic to me. Because shit
Yeah.
happens whenever it happens.
All right, let me read the comments. Ivan Dawkins says Grace and Kim are looking at this from an emotional perspective. They don't want their babies to hurt, but to know how to heal, you will have to have them to be hurt. Daddies don't freak out when our babies fall down or hurt themselves because we know it is a necessary experience.
Right.
Keisha
But
Walker
because that,
said, I didn't want any of my children to go through heartbreak from getting cheated on. Unfortunately, all four of them have. But
Mm.
it taught them all a valuable lesson of choosing themselves
Right.
first. And Ivan said, stop it, Grace. No amount of talking and teaching is going to prepare them for all
Right.
situations and scenarios. They have to live
Right.
it and learn to
But
overcome.
see, I get that. But I'm not sitting here like CJ saying, well, I want my son to be cheated at. And hell no.
Right.
I
They
don't.
no,
don't get
no,
cheated.
no,
Hell, your
it's not
son
that
probably
he.
getting cheated on right now. Your son probably opening his phone. One of his friends, hey, such and such kissed her behind the locker. You like, oh no. So Miss Grace, respectfully. Okay,
Hi,
thank you,
Oh,
son.
the
baby.
baby.
I know. Hey, you know what? And I'm saying this. Look, so this is Caden. Look, Caden is
Baby.
gonna at some point in his life, he's gonna
Oh,
fall for
God.
a woman, and hopefully, if it got anything to do with me, he falls with an African Nigerian dark queen. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna get his feelings hurt. But you know what? I would rather him have his feelings hurt when he's in high school. He's gonna be like, "Oh, Dad, this girl." And I'm gonna be like, "Well, son, what you gonna do?" And guess what my son gonna do? He gonna
Bounce back.
rise from the ashes.
So
He gonna hold
cute.
on. He gonna rise back from the ashes. So that's what I want
Yeah.
for my baby boy.
Yeah. All CJ saying is from his logical standpoint, of which a lot of people share that same viewpoint. Look, I'd rather for my kid to experience his heartbreak early
In
and
high
bounce
school.
from it
Yep.
and grow stronger from it and never take another L rather than experience it late, because experiencing it late, I'm taking L's in between and there's no way to guarantee that I'm gonna rise up after that. Then I might take a few more L's. It's all about lessening the L's.
And
No,
this girl
I understand.
seems like yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I understand because something Ivan said was that, and he's right though, and it made me think about it. as mothers, we are looking from an emotional perspective. I am like the last thing I want is for any of my babies to experience any type of hurt, experience what I've experienced, right? So yeah, but at the same token, CJ, I'm not gonna hope that he or she experiences this at an early age. You know what I mean? Because then I will have to jump in and go talk to dude or talk. I'd want to because I'm not.
Me, I would have to go do that, and
I
that would
would
not
have
be
to say,
pretty.
hey,
Hey,
I would
put it
want
this way.
to.
Put it this way. I'm glad I took my L from 19 to 21 because
Facts.
there are people that are in their late 30s or their early 40s still take
Facts.
the same L because they ain't learned the lesson.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather take my lesson early and I was done with it. Ain't took one since. And I'm not gonna take one. I'm not gonna. I mean, that was a little short stint where I was like, well, no. But there are people who haven't learned from taking those L's. There are people who are just like this girl in this scenario. And I'm gonna say this. Might be a strong statement, but this isn't the first no good dude that she been with because
Right.
the same intuition. So I've said this before. Women are the most intuitive, discerning creatures on the planet. But
Agreed.
for some reason, so hold on. But for some reason, when it comes to a no good dude, y'all can see that stuff coming a mile away, and y'all don't do nothing about it except try to change.
Hmm.
That's
Um,
facts.
I don't know. I'm in a different place in my life, so I don't know.
Now you're in a different place in your
You should
life.
think about it though. But honey, most things that people experience in their life, I have not experienced because I
Right,
was
right.
married for so long, and because how I was raised and how, my dating life or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah,
So a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of this stuff,
For you.
like I have not experienced it. So I maybe that's why I cannot imagine. Now I have seen cheating in my family. I'm not going to mention who the family members are, where they took it right, and it was kind of like it was allowed, but also that was cultural as well. But
Yeah,
as an African woman living in America, that shit will not happen just because I'm African. It's not going to happen. I'm
right.
not standing for it. There's some things that I've learned from the culture which I still utilize, but that cheating thing, I will not be utilizing. Hell no, because
Um,
I'm not. I'm just not.
All right, let me read these
so,
comments really quick. Ivan Dawkins says, "Thank you, Keisha Walker." Justin Caraway say, "CJ with a white girl."
Dang,
Ah!
Mr.
hey,
with the white.
hey,
And
that was a
Justin said,
long time. Hey, that was a long time ago.
Mr. Jones for the win." Ivan Dawkins said, "A person with an experience is never on the mercy of a person with an opinion."
Mm.
Untrue, Mr. Jones. I can tell by the way a man walks whether he is or ain't shit.
Well, then she is of the small minority because there are a lot of women, and we've already had this discussion that you probably know someone right now, a woman who is with a no good dude, that he was no good dude when she met him, and she's still with him, and she's trying to change him. So yeah, that particular
Yeah.
woman on this podcast, that comment, kudos to you. I wish more people would like you.
But yeah, it also takes experience though to pick up on that stuff though.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I have 8 brothers, so I've seen a lot of the stuff that they've done. Not that it's happened to me, right? But I've seen how they navigate and how they handle the woman that they were dealing with before they married their wives. I
Well,
mean,
you just talked about experience, but so you just used one way to mold what you think and what you're willing to put up with. Some people have to go through it. Other people can look at it. I can look at a crackhead and not do crack. Some people can look at a crackhead and go, "Oh, I want to try it too, just to see." You know what I'm saying? I don't have to go through. I don't have to go through, put myself in a situation where I know I'm going to be cheated on in order to experience it and grow from it. I can look at the state of people that are totally depressed and losing their money and getting beat on and abused and all that stuff. And I'm like, hey, I'm not finna go through that. I'm not gonna. So you said you saw your brother and yada yada yada, and you use that visual to go, nope, that ain't gonna be me.
and
Hey,
they would tell me like, hey, if people would say this or do this, so or if guys try to talk to me, they would always like intervene. because I guess they knew them because the neighborhood was so small. You know, everyone knew everybody.
But your
Yeah.
brothers was cock blocking?
Thank God. I mean, it's
Oh
not.
my God, man. Hold on. So, question. So, Africans don't like cheat?
They are the biggest hoes. What you mean? They cheat.
Okay, no, okay. Hey,
Oh
hey,
yeah.
I was about to say, hey, because I can tell you my full Ethiopian experience. Man, man,
Well, guys.
man. Hey, you see it? Hey, but no, seriously, but on a serious note, so you have brothers that was intervening, this, that, and the third. Now, if you ask me, I mean, this is just me being me. You're right. Now, obviously, I don't want my son to be heartbroken, obviously, but and this is what I want for women too. I would like, and just like I got a son now, I pray that's my one and only. I don't plan on having a whole plethora of kids, so you know what I'm saying. But if I, have another, if I have a girl, I would literally tell her the exact same thing. I want her to get those experiences, so for when she's older, she's seasoned. She kind of can
Right.
already sniff out versus, because you'll be surprised at a lot of women that are 30 and 40 years old that's getting finessed is because you dealt with that one dude. Well, I'm sorry, with that one or two dudes, you know what I'm saying? And this is what I don't like about our community. We be shaming these women that be having quote unquote multiple partners, that be getting around, you know what I'm saying? But hold on, but I guarantee you, when they settle down, that person is that right person versus that one that was stuck to that one or two, and then he messed up. She's not gonna know anything else but that. So
Yeah, I
that's my
mean,
little
I
tea.
guess there's many ways to skin a cat or how you look at it, really. I mean, I don't know. Would you rather have high mileage? Anyway, that's another topic. But guys,
So,
High
what,
mileage.
what,
that's
Hey,
another
high
topic.
mileage. Hey,
hey,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey,
what,
Go ahead.
real quick, and from a spiritual level. So someone commented that this lady in this scenario should stay. She should proceed and stay in the relationship. So on a
mm,
spiritual level, God
Keisha.
God doesn't put two people together to just for each other to bring each other hell, right?
right.
That's not God. God doesn't say, "Well, I'm going to put this purposely in your life just to make your life a living hell."
Make you
That
stronger.
yeah,
No.
that's not God. That's not God.
Nope.
So she definitely didn't consult God. She picked the dude, and she would probably want God to intervene and help. But no, God does not want all of this deceit, this lying, this betrayal, this lack of love, this lack of honor, the total disrespect to the marriage. He does not want that. So I would tell her easily to dip and go
Yes.
and work on her self love, work on who she is, find out who she is first of all, and then proceed. And hopefully she'll find somebody better because this ain't gonna get no better.
No, and I understand what you said about being in church because when I was going through divorce, I was a leader at this church, and they did not want me to get divorced. They didn't care, right? Like, and I had to eventually leave the church because my ex started going to the same church, and so he became friends with them, and then I became like I was the one that was the aggressor.
Like you were the
So,
bad one, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Was it
I
Ibok?
no.
Oh, okay. Thank God.
I was out of church, but the evangelicals came after me like yeah, it was awful. But guys, we have to wrap it up. It is 8:19 and Cigar Chronicles comes on after us. So I want to thank you guys again. Thank you, CJ, for being a guest again. Thank you,
Thank
B
you so
Jones, for
much.
coming on again. We
Thank
appreciate you guys.
you.
This topic is very near and dear, I think, to most of us because it's about truth and honesty. And
Yeah.
one of the things I teach my children, I tell them that when you are dealing with somebody, whether it's a call, an acquaintance at school, if the gap continues, if you feel that there's no truth there, if the gap continues, ask questions. And then if you ask questions and you're not satisfied, then let that ninja go, let that friendship go, whatever it is. And I teach them that from an early age, okay? That if integrity is not on the table, right, let it go. Because if a person can't be honest at this level, and you guys are 11 and 12, no. And I'm not talking about little stuff. I'm talking about foundational stuff. And that's what I was telling you, CJ. I teach my children things that probably most parents don't teach at that age. But there's things I have them look at. Hey, have you noticed this? Do you see that? They may not get it fully now, but they're very intuitive because of the you have to constantly talk. You know what I mean? But anyway, I just want to thank you guys again. And we'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Grace, you can say nigga, like you ain't gotta say